What's this journalism student want to ask?
My name is Zach Crilley. I'm 15 years old. I was wondering, what issues do you think are important to youth, and what are you doing to differ yourself from the other candidates?
You know, when somebody ever asks you, what are you doing different yourself from somebody else, you know what you ought to say? I'm me. And either I work or I don't, okay? Now, let me tell you that there's a lot of issues that you are concerned about. One of them is the environment. Do you believe that there's global warming? I happen to think there is. And do I think there's climate change caused by humans? Yeah, I don't know to what degree, but I do know that we need to develop renewables and wind and solar and battery technology and hydrogen and fuel cells. And you know, the world's going to look so different whenever we get battery technology. And you know, they tell me they're going to have a low-priced Tesla. Maybe you can afford that, Shays. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. It's a changing thing. Let me tell you another thing. Where is it? How could I not have one person? Oh, I knew there'd be one. Give me that thing, okay? You see this? About 5 years ago, my daughters and I were in Florida. And they said to me, Daddy, what's that box over there? You girls don't remember, but it happened. What is that box over there? I said, what box? And I'm looking, I said, oh, okay, that's where Superman changes his clothes. And by the way, your mom and dad used to put coins in that thing to make a phone call. And the girls said, no way, no way. The constantly connected consumer, transportation, medicine, everything is changing at the speed of light, except for one thing, government. Now, when businesses, we don't have my debt clock in here, but when businesses, when they don't change, you know what happens to them, young man? They die. You know what happens when government doesn't change? You pay a big bill for the rest of your life. So we need to Uberize the government. We need to make it smaller. We need to get it to where you live, okay? Now let me tell you one other thing. Did you hear what, I get more phones this way, it's great. But did you hear what I said about you're made special? You go change the world. Whatever world you live in. Now you're 15 years old.
Correct.
There was a kid that I met the other day, can't remember what state, I think it was in South Carolina. He was 7 years old and raised $1,600 standing outside of his house selling something to give to a police officer who got sick. That kid changed the world at the age of 7. I mean, so we have to figure out how we're going to take things into our own hands. When I was a kid, living in a blue-collar town outside of Pittsburgh, where my father carried mail, and my mother was, you know, had an opinion of everything, and really was smart but undereducated. In that little town, we didn't wait for the President of the United States to come fix us. Our hero was Roberto Clemente, the great baseball player. We didn't care about, well, that's my point. You see, I think that America's challenged on two fronts. One is we don't have the leaders who are being able to raise the performance of the people they work with. I mean, I've seen it in Ohio. I saw it when I was in Washington for those magic years. Few of them, till it all drifted away. But we need to have the leaders that can raise our game. And I want you to read about Winston Churchill and how people told him he was crazy. But at the end of the day, he saved them by getting them to raise their own personal lives to a higher level. But that's only one part of the equation. The spirit of our country doesn't rest in a president, or in a White House, or in a Congress on Capitol Hill. The spirit of our country rests in our neighborhoods, in our families, in our communities. That's how we revive the spirit of our country. We do.